This is the afternoon of the 26th of July, 2024. Article on the Jerusalem Post, written by Matilda Heller, published on July 21st, 2024. Title: Arrive in France, we'll kill you. Israeli Olympians threatened ahead of Paris Games. Israel will be sending armed Shin Bet agents to Paris to prepare for the largest ever security operation for Israeli athletes at the Olympic Games. I don't know why they bother with those Olympic Games when you got morons like this threatening people's lives. Israeli Olympians taking part in Paris 2024 have received death threats, hate messages, and vitriol online over the last few days, Israel and foreign media reported on Saturday. Walla reported that over the weekend, Israeli athletes received online messages written in poor Hebrew. Many also received calls from foreign numbers. On Thursday and Friday, 15 athletes and their teams received identical death threats via email, warning them they would be killed if they arrived in France, Walla reported. The anonymous email said that the sender intended to harm any Israeli presence at the Olympics and said that if any Israeli delegates attend, they would be harmed. The email threatened to repeat the action on Munich 1972 and told athletes to prepare for intifada. During the Munich 1972 Olympics, 11 Israelis were murdered by the Palestinian terrorist group Black September. A ceremony, the date and location of which are not yet known, will take place during the Paris Games to commemorate those killed, reported French publication Le Ponte. The chairman of the Israeli Olympic Committee, Yael Ara, said it was clear to us that such a troll would come. We prepared for it. We instructed the athletes on how to act when it comes, and we have many conversations and meetings on the subject, Walla reported. The message and calls have continued over the weekend. The Israeli Olympic team has landed in Paris and was met with high security. The British publication The Telegraph announced in an exclusive on Saturday that Israel will be sending armed Shin Bet Israeli Security Agency agents to Paris to prepare for the largest ever security operation for Israel athletes at the Olympic Games. Security preparations took 1 year. Israel's culture and sport minister Mike Zohar told The Telegraph, "We know that these threats against the team, but we don't want to talk about it." However, he continued by saying that security preparations for the Games had started a year ago and that the team's security budget has been doubled to compensate for increased threats against Jews and Israelis as a result of the Israeli-Hamas war. Former Shin Bet chief Yaakov Perry told The Telegraph that Israeli officers were most notably already scanning the area in France to determine threats, and that the months of planning were one of the toughest security challenges Israel's delegations have had in their history. 88 Israeli athletes will be participating in the Games. All will receive security details from Shin Bet, as will their staff, Zohar told The Telegraph. Not all would have a bodyguard, he added. "We try our best to make sure the athletes feel free but also safe and not afraid. We don't want them to notice the security guard too much," he said. A former Shin Bet officer, Lior Ackerman, told The Telegraph that Israeli security guards will be equipped with weapons and technologies and will be assisted by local security and police forces. France has heightened the security ahead of the Games, locking down parts of the city so that people require permits to enter, reported the BBC. The opening ceremony of the Olympics will be manned around 40,000 security personnel, police, and grenadiers in order to protect 10,500 athletes. Why do they even bother with these games? I mean, it's completely crazy. The point noted substantial security service was planned in particular for Israel's football teams, training sessions taking place July 21st, 23rd, and 26th. Ackerman said the security for the Israeli team will need to stretch from the second of landing in France to the moment of returning home. Of course, it's not possible to go into detail about the security methods, but the combination of Israeli experience and knowledge, together with the cooperation with local security forces, provides an excellent and complete answer to the security of the delegation, Ackerman said to the Telegraph. An unnamed diplomatic official told the Telegraph that the security cooperation between Israel and France ahead of the Games is excellent. Former Chief Perry added that the threat could arise from anywhere and that danger was inevitable, saying it can be Hamas or other terrorists, but Iran is behind almost everything, and France is a particular concern due to the level of anti-Semitism there. French police arrested on Friday a man on terrorism charges who was accused of trying to murder a taxi driver with a knife while expressing support for Palestinian terrorist group Hamas, a source at the Terrorism Prosecutor's Office said. In recent months, Israel has foiled many attacks by Iran and other terrorist groups abroad. Israel's National Security Council published a report in March saying the risk of terrorism for Israelis abroad is particularly high, with emphasis on the Olympic and Eurovision as being high-risk events. The problem is that, these people are crazy. They look forward to death because if they die for Allah during jihad, they think they're going to go to heaven, drink wine, and have little pearls, little boys to screw. This increased danger, said Zahar, was not just a threat to Jews and Israelis, but almost everyone. They hate the free world and everyone who believes in democracy. They hate Christians, they hate Jews, and anyone who doesn't share their beliefs. The Palestinian Olympic Committee on Friday called for a ban on Israel athletes from participating in the Paris Olympics. The Telegraph reported, citing the group's anger regards Israel's human rights violation. I'll attach the link. People are going to die, I believe, unnecessarily. And having these Olympic Games is completely insane with the state that the world's in. That's just sort of what I think.